So then how do you know that God exists? Yeah, but this is a question I've been thinking about for a long time. It's the whole reason why I started reading this book. How do you know that God exists? Well, this is the definition that I have so far, my own definition about how do you know God exists. Well, you exist, right? Now, in order for you to exist, where did you come from? How did you get here? Did you simply come from your mother? And if you simply came from your mother, well, where did she come from? And where does 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 she come from? And then if you only believe in the Big Bang, then where did the Big Bang come from? See, the idea is if you go, well, the Big Bang is what created the heavens and the earth and what's created all around us, well, you're still believing in something finite, a material object of something finite. The reason why you believe in something finite is simply because you can only think in finite terms. It's impossible, actually, to think of infinite with a finite mind. And that's why you have to let go. You have to say, well, look, I was created. How do you know you were created? Because you were here. Now, in order to be created, there had to be a creator. Is this Excel, this is not a brand selling for Excel. I'm not selling Excel. Is this Excel gum? Was this created? Of course it was created. Therefore, did it have a creator? It didn't come out of nothing. So did you come out of nothing then? Did you come out of nothing if this didn't come out of nothing? In order for you to exist, something had to have created you. Nothing comes from nothing. Something has to come from something. And if there's an infinite regression, that means you came from something. Now that something is the definition of God. Now you could say, well, there's two gods. They both created you. Well, who created those two gods? Two infinite gods. Wouldn't those two infinite gods fight each other for power? Wouldn't they not be gods? That makes sense to me. Then you start thinking, well, if nothing comes from nothing, how did I get my awareness? Where does my awareness come from? So I get it, fine. God created me, the God of the everything. But how do I know that God is even aware? Maybe it's just a infinite motion in motion, right? You could say, well, something existed from before. That's what we can call God. However, it's infinite. It just keeps going. It goes back and it goes forward, and you're just sitting on the timeline. Fair. I can think that. So let's go to level 2. This is something that I was thinking about. Let me know what you guys think of this idea, because this is me just like thinking about it myself. Well, how do I have conscientiousness? How do I have awareness? See, the world is objective. We are noticing an objective world. Look at, for example, the birds. Go for a walk. Go look at the birds. Look at how the bird eats the worm. The bird eats the seed. The bird poops out the seed grows, and it's just this nature in motion. It's not standing still. It's in motion, but it's in perfect order. It's symmetry. And then there's the human. There's us that are observing the world. We're looking at it. What's going on here? What's going on there? And because we have this power of observation, we can do evil and we can do good. Now, because of that, we had to have consciousness. In order for us to observe the world, you are not the same as the bird. You are not the same as the lion. What does a lion do? Doesn't a lion do lion things? Have you ever seen a lion doing the same things as a monkey? Have you ever seen a monkey doing the same thing as a giraffe? No. There is species-specific behavior, but we are, us, me and you, we are the only species that's able to observe other species, which makes us almost like we have there's a necessity for us to do good, to develop our soul. So I think that this whole planet is a soul manufacturing plant where you go through difficult things in life to make you hard. Not to make you hard. Sorry, that came out wrong. You go through difficult things in life to show you your character and make your character strong. But only if you persevere, if you don't give up. So you are created then to develop your own soul, to manufacture your own soul. So the things that are haram in the Islamic religion are just stopping you from doing things that harms your own soul. Okay, so let me give you some references for this. So Surah Al-Baqarah says in Ayah 286, and whatever you do of good, indeed God is all knowing. And whatever you do of evil, it is only against yourself, because place is a it's a video game. In the universe, the objective universe, the creator of the universe is giving you difficult things, is putting you through hardships to shake you, to test you out, to see what kind of person you are, is giving you temptations to see what kind of person you are. So he can see what kind of person you are, so you can develop your own character. You can make a mistake, you can slip, and then you come back. You slip, and then you come back. And every time you slip and you come back, it's almost like a challenge, like you're in a level of a video game. So then you have to ask the question, why do we have consciousness? Or how do we have consciousness? Does God have consciousness? And I would say, of course God has consciousness. And how do you know? How do you know God has consciousness? Forget, looking at the Quran as a reference, because you don't want to make a circular argument, right? How do you know that God has consciousness? Really simple. You have consciousness. You have awareness. Now, nothing comes from nothing. So, if you have consciousness and God doesn't have consciousness, where did you get your consciousness from? Wouldn't it make more sense that you have consciousness over the little sliver of life that you have, the little crook of the world that you live in, this little piece of the world that you live in, you have consciousness over that. And the giver of consciousness has consciousness over all. So you can see God even in yourself. You could see the creation of God in everything that exists, because the definition is already here. How do you exist? So that means you must have been created, and you have consciousness. That consciousness must have been given somewhere. This is logical. There's no belief. This is logical. How did you give me another argument then? Give me another argument of where consciousness comes from. Does it come from nothing? Is it random? There's nothing random. There's nothing random ever. Nothing. Why would it be random? Name one thing that's random. Even evolution is not random. It's selection of mating rituals. You know this. You're going to date somebody. You're going to look at them and who you want to date. You're selective. Women are very, very selective of who they want to date. That is not random. Of who they want to marry. That is not random. So how is anything random? Or are you a conscious being and you were created by a conscious being? How could you be a conscious being if you were created by an unconscious being? That doesn't make any sense at all. That doesn't make any sense at all. So with that being said, this place is a video game, similar to a video game, and you will be accountable for the things that you do. And the things that you do wrong hurt you in this video game. If you get too drunk, you think you're gonna harm God? If you do something evil or you speak evil, do you think you'll harm God, or will you only harm your own soul? Really harm the development of your own soul. Don't trade your morals for groupthink, by the way. I had to learn that one. Because you can. And it's really easy to slip. It's really easy to slip into negative vibrational land. But think godlike. Think meditation. Think prayer. Think connection to the source. To the source of everything. And connect with that. And don't let religion get in the way of your connection with God. I see that happen all the time. Those are just my thoughts. I wonder what you guys are going to think about this. Peace.